What a Wild Spirit Brings by Lil, Chapter 43. The law of stoning those that love in the same gender. I feel it is wrong, and I wonder if it could not be changed. How is it right to kill someone for loving? Isn't love something beautiful? Only between a man and woman, stated the man in red. If women and women were allowed to be together, or men and men, there would be no babies. Humanity would cease to exist, Gerzera added. But not everyone feels that way. Most people like the opposite gender, so why punish the few who don't? This law has existed since long before any of us were born. There will be smaller armies and smaller clans if the law is changed. I don't see how it could have such a huge impact. Most people want to be parents. Some are barren. Should they be stoned because they cannot add to armies? Should parents who die before their children are raised be viewed in dishonor? Could not those who love their own gender adopt the children that are left behind when parents die? Most want to have loved ones, and most people don't want to have to stone anyone they love over a law that doesn't even have a true foundation. All three were studying her, mixed emotion on their faces. Lil kept her head high. Let them search her. Let them try to break her. Trixie shouldn't have to feel ashamed anymore. By law, we have to give you a chance to gain the change you desire. By law, we have to offer you a way, but depending on our agreeing with your request or not, the chance may be very slim indeed. We will confer about it, Gerzera said. The three huddled together in front of the central seat and started talking. Lil was praying to the light that they'd give her a chance she could actually redeem. They talked for some time before finally nodding agreement. The Wild One looked satisfied and challenging while the verdict was announced. You will face a test in the Wilder, since you are familiar with it. You must be at best my companion here in the Wilder. If you can defeat her, you may have your changed law, announced Gerzera. Lil knew her jaw must be on the floor. Trixian's grandmother was grinning dangerously. There was no way she could beat the greatest of wild ones. She wanted to cry, but something grew fierce in her and she couldn't give up. She had to at least try. She had to. All right, then. I will win or die trying. For Trixian! Juslexian actually looked stunned for a moment, and then all the excitement she had had for the upcoming fight vanished, and her wrinkles furrowed. Juslexian's face furrowed and she sat down from her seat. They faced each other grimly. After counting down from 5, Tindra's father shouted for them to begin. Instantly both women fell to the floor, rushing to the Wilder. Lil could see her there, already making a bow and arrow. Lil created a shield, and the arrows almost hit her before she could get it up. Suddenly there was a black beast behind her, roaring, and she made her own black monster to fight it. Her enemy hurled a fireball at her, and she made a cyclone of water to douse it. She had to get out of the defensive. She had to find a way to attack. But there was no way. The woman was too quick. Despite her old age, it was all Lil could do to ward off her attacks. After each onslaught of lightning or high-pitched squealing that made her ears almost bleed, the woman would step one step closer. She was getting nearer and nearer, and Lil hadn't even gotten one attempted blowout. She tried to make rays of light that consumed swarms of stinging bugs while shooting forward to burn the Wild One, but the woman flicked the rays away with a spear made of shadow easily, then countered with an earthquake. Lil was struggling to think fast enough to keep her defenses up versus these random assaults. The onslaught was so rapid and overpowering, she couldn't keep this up. With a burst of steam that Lil stopped from blistering her skin by making snow fall on her, the woman solidified the dark spear, turning it ebony and sharp. She began to grin, victory alight in her eyes, and started to lift it. Even as she did, her body started to turn hazy, and Lil realized the woman was here, and she was awake too. In a moment of pure panic, Lil made a circle of hedges beside Juslexian and threw herself in. She woke up to see the woman staring down at where her body had been in shock. Lil grabbed the spear from the stunned woman and held it up to the Wild One's throat. She was gasping for breath, her body shaking, and the old woman was staring, still in disbelief. It took her a while, but as her heart started to beat a little slower, she realized she had won. Somehow, someway, she had won. The law will be changed. Those who desire others of the same gender are allowed to love them. They will be held to the same laws of rights as all are held to, and rape and marriage will be punished and celebrated by the same customs. I suppose each couple will have to decide for themselves who will play the woman and who will be the man. Amazing, you winning little brave one, spoke the surprised woman sitting behind her. Lil dropped the spear and collapsed to her knees, suddenly muscles without a shred of strength. She did it. Trixian wouldn't ever be stoned now. Thank the light she did it. I hereby remove myself from the seat of Try. This young trainer will be proclaimed a wild one and replace me. She has won, the defeated wild one dejectedly said. Wait, what? No! I only came to change the law, not to displace you, Lil cried to the woman standing looking broken and firm all at once. It is our custom. You won. You are the new— No! I don't even know all the traditions of the Entha. I didn't even know to bring a gift. You don't want me to help lead? No! But you won. But I don't want to stay here. I have to go back to get him and my brother. A thought, said Grazira, after a few moments of Lil looking at them all with pleading eyes. Since the girl doesn't know our ways yet, why not that she be given time to do so? If she wishes, you could stay here in her stead an honorary seat, while she grows in wisdom and skill, and when she feels ready to take her place as the rightful seat, she will come and claim it. What do you think, little brave one? Would that suit you? Yes! Oh, yes! Pure shock was written on the ancient wild one's face. Lil jumped up smiling. Even Tindra's father nodded approval. There was nothing else said. Just Lexian returned to her seat, touching it tenderly first, tearing up for a moment, and then sat, looking regal, right where she should be. The three nodded and called in a scribe to rewrite the law in front of the little brave one. She could only hear the rewriting through a haze. It felt like it was all a dream. Lil walked out with wobbly legs after finally being dismissed once she had approved the new words. She did it. Trixian had to know.